This was March 2 years ago. I was westbound on I-70 through Kansas, somewhere between Salina and Abilene. If you've never driven that stretch at night, it is the flattest, darkest, emptiest road in America. No trees, no hills, no light pollution. Just black sky and black land, and your headlights cutting a tunnel through it. It was around 2 a.m. I was carrying auto parts, deadhead run light load. Good conditions. I was alert. My headlights picked him up from about 300 yards out. A man standing in the grass median, center of the highway, facing my lane. Just standing there, perfectly still. I thought construction at first. You see workers at weird hours, but there was no equipment, no cones, no vehicles. Just a man in dark clothing, hands at his sides, standing in the median in the middle of Kansas at 2 in the morning. I blew past him at 67 miles per hour. In the half second I registered, middle-aged, heavy-set, no reflective gear, no phone, no flashlight. Just standing there in the dark like he'd been planted. I got on the CB immediately and raised another driver, a guy named Carver, who ran that corridor regularly. Told him what I saw, gave him the mile marker. He came back on, and said he'd keep his eyes open. 15 minutes later, Carver came back on the radio. His voice was different. He said, "Hey, I'm at your mile marker. I don't see anybody. But there's a car in the east ditch, driver's side door open. Looks like it's been there a while." I called 911 and gave them the location. I kept driving because I had a delivery window and, honestly, because I didn't want to go back to that median in the dark. Here's what I found out later, because I followed up with the county sheriff's non-emergency line the next day. A car had gone off the road at that location, single vehicle, sometime in the previous 48 hours. The driver was found. He was alive. But he'd been found 2 miles east of his car, confused, no memory of how he got there. I've told myself 100 explanations. He got out of the car, walked, got disoriented, ended up in the median. Head injury. Shock. It happens. There is a rational version of this story, and I've recited it enough times that I almost believe it. What I can't fit into the rational version is this. The man I saw was standing completely still. Not wandering, not stumbling, not waving for help. Still. Facing my lane. Like he was waiting for something specific to come down that road. I don't know what he was waiting for. I don't know if it was me. I still run I-70. But I don't do the Salina to Abilene stretch at night anymore if I can avoid it. And if I can't avoid it, I keep both hands on the wheel, and I don't look at the median. Not because I'm afraid of what I'll see. Because I'm afraid of what might be standing there looking back. This happened 4 years ago, and I'm only writing it down now because my therapist literally told me to. She said putting it in words might help me stop dreaming about it. We'll see. I'm a 29-year-old woman. I was living in Knoxville at the time, working night shifts at a distribution center. I got off at 1 a.m. and drove home on 129 South, which winds through the edge of the Cherokee National Forest. It's beautiful in the daytime. At night it's a different road entirely. Tight curves, no guardrails and stretches, forest pressing in from both sides, so close your headlights just bounce back at you off the tree trunks. I'd driven it 100 times. I knew every bend. About 8 miles in, a woman stepped out of the tree line and waved both arms over her head. I want to be very specific. She didn't walk out from a parked car. She came out from between the trees, from the forest side. She was white, probably late 30s, wearing a gray zip-up and jeans, hair pulled back. She looked completely normal. She looked like someone's mom. I stopped. I know everyone reading this is screaming don't stop, but she was a woman alone on a mountain road at 1 a.m. I am a woman who drives alone at 1 a.m. I stopped. She came to my window fast, and the first thing I noticed was she wasn't out of breath. If you just ran out of the woods to flag down a car, you're out of breath. She was completely composed. She said her car had broken down further up the road and her phone had no signal, and could I please just drive her to the nearest gas station? I asked where her car was. She pointed up the road. I asked how far. She said, "Not far." Something about those two words made my stomach drop. Not the words, the timing. She said them just a half second too fast, like she prepared them. I told her I'd call someone for her. She said there was no signal. I looked at my phone. 2 bars. I held it up and said I had signal right here. She looked at my phone and something moved across her face. Not panic, more like a recalculation, and she said, "Right, okay, yes, if you could call someone." I dialed 911 and told the dispatcher there was a stranded woman on 129 South and gave the approximate mile marker. The whole time I was on the phone, the woman stood at my window with her arms crossed, watching me. Not the road. Me. The dispatcher said they'd send someone and asked if I could stay with the woman until they arrived. I said I'd try. I ended the call and told her help was coming. I asked her to step back from the car because I wanted to turn around to face the right direction. She stepped back. I hit the gas and I did not stop until I reached the Citgo on Calderwood Highway. I sat in that parking lot and shook for 10 minutes. I called my boyfriend and I couldn't even explain it right. I kept saying, "Something was wrong. Something was just wrong." And he kept asking what happened, and the honest answer was nothing. She asked for help. I called 911. I left. Nothing happened. Except in 11 years of driving that road, I had never once seen anyone come out of those woods. The forest on that stretch isn't the kind you walk through casually. It's dense, dark, steep terrain. You don't end up in it by accident. You go in on purpose or you don't go in at all. I checked the local news the next 3 days. Nothing about a stranded woman on 129. Nothing about an abandoned car. Nothing about anyone found in the area. The sheriff's office has no record of responding to that call. I checked. I gave them the time, the date, the location. They have no record of it. I have the 911 call in my phone history. It lasted 1 minute and 40 seconds. I don't know who she was. I don't know what she wanted. I don't know what was waiting further up that road where she wanted me to drive. I think about the not far every single